Yo people, it's your way Sam Sinko.
Yo, stacking on a known.
Yo, this is Capo. I'm now locked in to Still Changing Podcast.
Does it feel as aggressive as everyone that says it is? That when you deep it?
I think it's more personal how you think about it, because sometimes the reason why you'll think turning 30 is because you're trying to compare with everyone else. So like people that turn 30 will say, some like people look at it in a different space. Some people dread it. Some people welcome it. And some people are just like, yeah, okay, 30 is this, 30 is that. But realistically, man, I actually don't feel different.
Fairs. Different to what though? Like different to like
just
any
in
other
general.
day?
Like I think what it is though, I would, rather than a particular number, I would class it as a group set. So like the way I was when I was 21 till about 23, 24 is different.
Yeah.
Right? And then between that 24 state to like 27, different. So but from 28 is probably where I probably say I matured into a more, I want to say a more, I swear I started thinking different, and I'm in a different state. And I'm learning several things about myself and just about people in general. So I think that's the only thing. Maybe once 12 o'clock hits and when I wake up, I'll be like, this is different. But until then, I honestly, I think it's just different. It's just, I think that your mental state and how you think about a lot of things change prior to that.
So did you have any goals or like? Yeah, actually, no. Let me see. Before goals, I say like from when you were our age, 21. Yeah, that sounds bad. Sorry, my bad. when you were 21, did you like? Is your life now what you thought it was gonna be then? Yes and no.
No, in the sense that there was a lot of material things that I thought I would have had by now.
Yeah.
And I don't yet. So let me preface by saying yet, because all those things are still coming, and I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Then they're like, when you're 21, you think that 30 is far.
Yeah.
Comes quick.
But I promise you. And also, it doesn't help that COVID took 2 years away.
Yeah.
It took 2
Accelerated.
years.
Not honestly, because think about it. When lockdown or COVID happened, to when it was done, what in that period,
That's true.
What happened?
Can't lie, that was only holding me down for like 4 or 5 months. Once I was back in uni.
Yeah. No, but think about it, even though once you're back in, things were not the same.
Yeah, we were limited to a degree.
Things were not the same. Like, because for me, it was probably COVID was probably the time that I was just like, and I think that's actually when I transitioned from. When I started thinking about, okay, I can't be working for people anymore because this thing is a bit like, and that's when I started thinking I need to start doing my own thing.
Yeah.
So that's the one you think, I got time. Truth is, you might do with a plan. With a plan, it will go quick. Without a plan, it'll still go quick. But by the time you arrive at that point, you're like, God.
Bro, it's crazy, you know, like, fam, I'm 22 right now, yeah. We're 24 next year.
Yeah.
Like,
yo,
like it's as crazy as that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
so have you man thought like that far out?
About like
30?
24,
Yeah, 30.
Not 30.
No. Not like 25. I've touched. I can't lie.
No, but I've been thinking recently about like life though.
100%.
As in the deeper things behind life, like bro, it's soon time where you go again to that age where, do you know what I mean? Like,
Fam.
some man start thinking of marriage,
bro. One of my boys is married, bro. I couldn't believe my highs.
What, same age?
Yes, bro.
No,
I couldn't believe my highs.
No, but
That's another funny thing, right? It's that in the stage you're in, you will get like different. Even in mine now, right? Most of my friends either married, have kids, and I'm like, Pop, around you see like people. That's where I think your path begins to differ or emerge, what you want to do. So you see the ones that are just about, they just want to get married and just want to start having kids or just want to get into that space. pretty early. And then you get the other ones that, because after uni, that's when they've decided that my life is just about to begin. Like all the nonsense that they didn't get to do, that's when they're about to start. Like everything else that you do, that's your pocket. That one is your pocket. Like they're about to now start. So they'll be the ones that every weekend when you check their snap, they're out. Everything they're like, and honestly, everyone goes through that. Because there was a time, that I used to go out every weekend without fail. Me and my boy, we used to go all Sunday. I spent Sundays recovering. I didn't used to go to church. I spent Sundays recovering. And then when I get to work on Monday, I'm just like, ugh, I'm waiting for Friday. And then from Thursday, because at my workplace, like Thursday is usually the social for And I was like, initially, when it's like, this is nonsense. But then I hear it because it's like, I don't want to be socializing on my own personal time. So if I'm hungover on Friday, I can't do any work on it. It's like, most times people don't. But if you like yourself, you'll pan. Like, you won't just get drunk and then don't do anything on Friday. But other than that, honestly, you just find all your mates where you are now. You see that everyone just begins to pick their own thing and they start doing their own different thing. And then the ones that are left are the ones that are like going out and like trying to figure out, they'll think you're the unserious ones. It's a lie. Honestly, like the same way, even as siblings, people have like, siblings choose different paths for themselves. That's how your friendships are.
But I think it's wild when because like I remember there was a time, I was thinking like, fam, like you know them thoughts there where like it's like middle of the night, you're thinking, fam, I need to go dark, like I need to
I just
I need to grind, bro. I need to grind. Like, I was literally thinking, fam, like I'll come out, pop out when I'm 29, couple jets, you know, it's like crazy, but
2 kids,
bro, listen. But in the same way, I was like, I hear what you're talking about in terms of everybody choosing their own path, because to an extent, like regardless, like I say it a caveat, regardless of like where everybody ends up, it's because of everyone's choices. So even if you grinded or whatever and you're happy because you grinded, like just be happy that you grinded. Don't be happy because if you look at someone else now, someone else's life experience, they may not be where you are, but they may have had quote unquote way more fun in that time. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So in the same way, it's like you just kind of, to your point, you just kind of need to choose what you want to do. Do you know what I mean? Because if it's fun you want to have, then have fun, but don't regret that you didn't have fun. If it's grind you want to do, grind, but don't regret that you didn't have fun. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Honestly, I think it's just about balance.
Yeah.
When
honestly.
you think about it, because even if so you want to have fun, and I think everyone should be able to. But like everyone's definition of fun is different. Right now, my own definition of fun is different from then. My definition of fun is actually surrounding myself with my friends. And doing stuff that's just it's wholesome. And whether that just whether that just be going to art exhibitions and going out to eat. So like I'm just happy, and then the conversations that you have as a result of that, like is so. And some people, their own definition of fun is to go out clubbing. Like, who's what are you doing on Friday, bro? What are you doing on Friday, bro?
Me personally, I'm going to a breakthrough night, Little B Church. Be there.
Let's go. What are you doing after?
You think I'm trying me? Please. I'll be breaking through,
guys
boy.
going libertine,
I'll be breaking.
but it's fine.
Victor, you know where he's been in it. Did he tell him about tape?
I've never been.
Don't worry. We'll say that one after. Sorry. Please continue.
Yeah, no. So I think everyone's definition of what fun is, but like in the sense that that balance is very, 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 very important. Because you saying that, like, I just want to, I'll just black out and then come out. Truth of the thing is, you probably could just do that, but guess what? When you now come back and you get all these things that you want, you probably just be like, I don't want this anymore.
Yeah.
And which is why, like, I think it's very, very important that everyone goes through their own process. Because if you go through your own process, you now understand you as a person. Like, I think that's probably the best thing that you want to do first. Understanding who you are, understanding what you want. And then once you get that, everything else, no one, like, you can't see someone and then there's something called tension, right? Do you know what that is?
Tension as like the word
someone
itself.
Tension you. So like you can't see someone now living a certain type of life and like you feel very oppressed.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
because once you figure out who, regardless of if this person is an investment banker, right? Because the thing is, everyone comes out of uni and thinking, I just want to get into investment banking.
Yeah.
That's not the only place. And I know that. I think you work in investment banking, don't you?
No. I'm in
There's always a thing where everyone comes in and goes, "Oh yeah, you know, I just want to get into that." I just want to get into that,
Yeah.
right? And truth is, there's nothing wrong with it,
Yeah.
but because you're an investment banker and someone's working in compliance or someone is doing this, doesn't mean anything. Because guess what? It's all just right now. You're still all building. You're still building. Because the person that starts an investment banking, the moment they'll be like, "Yeah, no, this isn't for me." Because you don't get a life. You work so many hours, and then you actually don't. You don't get a life. So it's the money that you want. But that's not the only, career to make money.
100.
There's so many things you can do.
100.
I have a mentor, and I hope he would. Well, he's not going to listen to this. But if he ever does, sorry. When I met him, this guy used to be on. So he was 36. He was 36. Was it 36? When I met him, his daily rate was £1,900.
Mad.
But guess what? A year ago, this guy was a bus driver.
Yeah, big change.
I don't know.
A year ago, he was literally driving the. Is it basically the one that goes from? To,
You've seen it before. You've seen it.
See, like the thing is, I knew him at the time, but then it was just on a very friendly, like, hey, because I just like as a person, he was always just on it. And the one thing I've always loved is just I love having conversations with people that are older than me. Yeah, doesn't matter like what. Like I just love that because I feel like they say some things or you pick some things that either through their pain or experience. Like they say something that they've been through. And I said to him, it's like, but how? It's not impossible. Bear in mind, this guy had some level of, but he wasn't like the smartest person. Like, and he says that, so it's like, he's not like the smartest person. But what he decided to do was he decided to dedicate 1 year to focus on studying, gaining experience, and just application. And then he started the job. He did a perm role for like 6 months. And they met someone on there that then left, and then they recommended him for like to apply for a role. He did that, but whilst he was doing that, he figured out something called automation. Yeah. So he read up on it. So when he got into his new role, he was the only person that knew about that. So he just like, why don't we try this? Tried it, it worked. Best believe they were saying to him, so let's sign you up to a contract, and that was the lady she just gave him that. Now, I'm not saying that will happen to everyone, but if you follow that same pattern where the person that's like currently struggling and thinking, oh, what can I do? Figure out what industry you want to go. Anyway, I feel like I'm giving career advice, but it's like, but he just literally just sought that opportunity, picked it up, and then so imagine the guy, his friends that would have been working in corporate world, making decent money. Within a year, he probably made more money than they would have made in 2 years.
Probably still the way the mass is looking.
1,900 a day,
and that's outside of Cola. So Cola essentially in if you're working in like tech, means anything outside your agreed hours. That one is even more expensive, because you could charge per hour. So his Cola can essentially be £500 an hour.
Jeez.
And he will build them and say, okay, I need like 4 or 5 hours, so this is how much.
Lunch included. Man's gotta eat now.
At that point, do you even need to charge for lunch?
Yeah, it's true.
No, man. No. See, that's where the real hustlers are. They'll charge for lunch.
But this is the thing though, is
charging
for lunch. Charging for lunch is like it just how much an hour.
Listen.
No, but the thing is, an hour, like the time is that you're not even having lunch anyway. Yeah. Like we're talking about. Yeah. So I'll use cybersecurity as an example in a sense, because when you create the structure of the network, it has to essentially be checked, or it has to basically go through certain processes. Yeah. So if at one point something is wrong, if you don't sort it out, your company will be liable, which then means that they can pay 20 million or 20% of whichever is higher, because you're now in breach. So of course they will pay whatever to be on call because you can fix it, or if you're the manager, you know someone that can, and that's why they will do that.
Oh,
so you as a person, there's like charging what because that money you will probably make. So there's no, it's then people that don't have like good character. Okay, you charge for that, but after a while they'll sauce you up.
Yeah. So essentially, like what they're charging for that call out is way less than what they'd have to pay if they were liable. Essentially.
Yeah, because as a company, if you have to pay 20 million,
it
can wreck you, especially if you don't have that much. So what you can do, like, it's basically preventive, right? And that preventive essentially just means that, man, I'd rather pay this because failure to pay this and something happens, you're paying more.
No, crazy stuff. And what is that? Is that what you did, like cybersecurity?
Yeah,
initially.
So I mean, and my career trajectory was a bit weird because I did a lot at uni.
Oh, right.
When I finished, I was just like, yeah, nah, man. I was like, actually, no, I was like, I need some time. Let me try, because my head was hot. I was like, I need some time, and then I started making money.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe I'll wait up, I'll defer it to a few some. I was like, nah, probably not. And I literally didn't know what I wanted to do, and that's the honest truth. But one thing that I would tell you though was, like, at that time, whilst everyone was picking up their own, I used to say that, oh no, facts, me, Sisu, like, by the time I'm 30, I'm going to be a director. By the time I'm 35, VP, blah, 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 blah. Those are, I kid you not, by the time I was 28, that's when I realized that the corporate world is not for me.
Do you think then, I was thinking about this the other day, or like, it's fair, open up, to be fair. I don't want to say that we're just on you talking to you expert. Do you man think that, like, it's okay? So I've got two questions, but I'll start with this one. So do you man think it's okay not to be ambitious?
No.
It's a tricky question because being ambitious, is very subjective.
So let's just say that, like, we've defined it as, like, aiming to be the best in what you want, or like just like actually aiming high. Let's just say that.
Yeah, no, I think you have to be. I think because I feel like that's the only time where you actually really see your true potential. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your true capability. Other than that, you're just always working. You'll never know when you're working at 50, when you're working at 60, when you're working at 100. So, like, let's say for example, cool, like something small, like with a run, like, okay, cool. Let's say personally, I'm trying to get something. I don't know, like, let's say sub 5 minutes every kilometer. Cool. If I'm like, that might be quite ambitious for me starting after not running for like 8 months. But if I say, I'm just gonna run, maybe get 7 minutes, like, am I like what's going on? Because I know I can do that, but I don't know I can get sub 25 after maybe 2 runs, because I haven't pushed myself. I haven't said, listen, I'm gonna try my hardest, and if I don't get it, cool. But if I do get it, no, if I get it, cool, that's great. But if I don't get it, I'm probably gonna be pretty damn close, and then I'll be like, raw, like, I wasn't that far off. Maybe a couple more times I can actually do something with it. Do you get what I mean? I think when you're not ambitious, I think it can also lead to maybe sometimes it can lead to a bit of complacency, because you're never like you're just content with what you already have and what you can already provide. That you don't know. Let's say for example, you don't know someone else is on the block that can take your space easily. Do you get what I mean? And that's in every single aspect of life. Whether that can be obviously not marriage, because but like in a relationship, like that can happen, or like your partner can think you're getting a bit too complacent. This isn't really working out. Or literally in a working environment, happens all the time. Like it can happen all the time where you can just get laid off because you're not performing to the standard, or someone else is doing way better than you, so they're getting that promotion, they're getting that they're getting that bonus, they're getting that pay raise. But
fair enough, that's a good answer. What do you think?
I pretty much agree with what Sam said, to be fair, but just like in terms of like working and employment and stuff, some people just want like
He called me Sam, innit? Like, I was so heady, fam. But yeah, continue.
Some people just genuinely don't want that much in it. So for example, they just want a simple job that pays them every month. They want their partner, they want their kids to go off to uni or whatever, and that's them cool in life in general. But to other people, that might, like, that's why I asked, it's subjective, innit? Because to other people, it might be like, you're not being ambitious enough. But for them, it's like, no, I'm content in what I want. Do you get what I'm saying? But I still agree with you, because I feel like if you do want to grow, if you do want to be the best version of yourself, you have to be not uncomfortable, but like, uncomfortable, but like you have to stretch yourself in order for you to see how far you can go. So yeah,
because I was thinking, I just want to do before I drop to unit, like, because and I want to contextualize it before we bring it to unit, because I wanted to get your obviously opinion being older, like we speak about, and there's this conversation that's kind of gone before about the sort of black excellence thing, right?
Yeah.
And that's generally just to do with like black people just being the best, right? Or black excellence in certain aspects. So somebody that's black that's succeeding highly somewhere, like, oh, that's black excellence sort of thing, innit? And I just remember seeing something about how like is that the bar? Is that the only thing that people can do in terms of like success or succeeding? And I was kind of thinking that like if somebody, as Akin was saying, doesn't really want that, like they're just cool, is that wrong? Because if that's what they want to do, I don't, like, for me, I wouldn't say it's wrong. I just say I wouldn't do it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, because if somebody's like, and we've spoken about the whole thing of subjective success or whatever, so I'm not gonna like label the point, but generally, if that's actually what somebody wants to do, I don't really see what the real issue with it is. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But I don't know if from like an older perspective that just looks like red flag straight away.
Not really. So the funny thing is, again, this is my opinion. So, because sometimes you have to buttress that before people now say, it's not just like if anything that I say, it's not either financial career advice. It's just my opinion. In a way, I think that you both got a different aspect to it. So, I wouldn't necessarily call it ambition. I'd call it intentionality, right? And when he said it's subjective, it's true, because thing is, not as humans, we all can't be excellent. We all can't be ambitious, because that would live for nothing.
Yeah, I was thinking of that.
The same way you have alphas and like the dominants, like it's the exact same thing with this. So some people have to be okay with what with the bare minimum. Mm-hmm. And it's not a shit, like, because at the end of the day, those, like, think about it this way: if everyone wanted to be the boss and the CEO, who would be the employee?
Yeah.
So you'd have several CEOs, and then who's going to be working on the, like? And that's not to say that you don't show, but then being intentional about whatever means that, one, you want to be the best that you possibly can be. It's now, okay, how do I get there? Because you can have the best thoughts, or like say, oh, I want to do this. If you don't take the step or you don't do anything about it, then, right? So and then another side of it is like, okay, you're ambitious, but because this person is doing this and I don't want that, that doesn't make me unambitious. It's just I don't want this.
Yeah.
Like what I want, or the things that I or what I'm after, it's just completely different. Goes back to what I was talking about, you know, the investment banking or corporate world. Like a lot of people, when they come out of uni, the first thing they actually want to do is like they want to work in Canary Wharf. They want to work. They usually want to go to the city. You want to do that, and it's good. Like there's no problem with that. But you'll quickly find out that that's not the end of the all. Like there are so many places in London that you can work. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So my old workplace was in Tower Bridge.
Oh, shit.
See. The one thing I loved about that place was because I like food.
Yeah.
The breakfast was so subsidized. Like, I could have full English breakfast extra. And what I mean by extra is like I have full English breakfast, extra, and the most I'll probably ever pay for is $250.
Wow,
receive it.
Right? But lunch is free.
Yeah.
The only difference and the only annoying thing is sometimes you eat what they give you. Yeah. And there was a time I worked here for a whole 7 months straight. every Friday was fish and chips, fish and chips, fish and chips.
But that's
that's the thing.
No,
That's
but-
secondary school.
I kid you not. At one point, I said if I saw fish and chips again, I will throw up because it just got to the point on Fridays I have to start packing my lunch.
Oh yeah. You weren't trying to like go out to
No,
eat?
I was tired. No, or go out to eat. Like there's a point initially when I got fed up. It was like yeah, cool. There was slug and lettuce next to me.
Yeah.
There was a KFC just further up, and then there's this like pub on the other side as well. But you quickly realize, man, it's like I'm not spending between £12 to £15 on lunch because that's how much it will
Talk
cost.
about it, man. Talk about it for real, brother.
So I said,
That's
you know what?
stuff.
I can't. I'm not like I can get better, and the food wasn't that great. The portions weren't that great.
Yeah.
So I'll come back and I'll still be hungry.
Yeah.
That's the city. That's the city for you.
And I'm just like, nah. This is like so. It just worked out that I can make food from home.
Yeah.
And then take it.
Yeah.
Thursday, it was just when I come back from work, and sometimes my sister used to meal prep.
Yeah.
So it was just easy that I should just be like, let me take. Yeah, cool, quickly take it. And then so to go back to the question though,
Yeah.
like being ambitious is not a problem, right? But also you have to look at it as a coin. There's always two sides to it. Like ambition to different people look like different things.
Yeah.
Like some people, as he said, all they just want to do is, I just want to get a nice paying job that's paying me regularly. Like they're so, you can guarantee like they can forecast their lives by just saying, this job is paying me this, and this. Okay, my mortgage is like this amount. I'm getting this, so I can plan this, and they're fine.
Yeah.
I knew my old workplace, there was a lady that was like that. She had done the same job for over 30 years.
Oh my gosh. Everyone is.
You know, I don't.
And
know
she
if
was
I-
happy with it.
Yeah,
Honestly,
different.
she was
That's what I'm
so
saying.
happy with it.
Do you want really?
She was so happy with it. So, in that regard, what else? What you gonna do?
Yeah.
But some people, it's always the case. Like for me, I knew that my one was. I just knew that I wanted to get to the top because the type of lifestyle that I wanted to live. And that's what drove me to think like that. And very quickly, when you realize that, especially when you come to an understanding, it's just that's not it anymore. Like I still live a great life,
Come on.
but the
Share that life with me now. Wow.
No, I'll still live a great life, but it's
Yeah.
like the motivation behind me living a great life is not. It's not necessarily just because then it was also like I could drive the latest car, live in a big house. I still want a good car.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the latest car. Like if it's like still I'll get my thing now are Teslas.
Oh,
And
yeah?
I feel like
Which
I might just
which model?
3.
Oh, that's still
What?
that's
That's
still
like a-
relatively
that's
that's
like
still
an E-class.
relatively yeah.
Like, that's like I still want I still
like-
want.
I thought you were
the
gonna say like
latest
S
one.
or something or
No, but
Isn't
but
there the
also
X one
there's
or-
depends how big it is.
the what's it called? The
think-
SUV, the SUV looking one.
Yeah, I think that's
With
That's
the
the
Falcon
X.
wings.
X or Y.
Yeah, I don't
See that one is more of a family car but if I'm not doing what am I getting? It's like, but then my house, yeah. But now though, my main reason for wanting to have all these things, it's not just for me now. So it's actually my kids
Yeah.
because I want them to have that leg up, like being able to do things that I wasn't able to do, or like I didn't get growing up. So that's always it. Like, do I want to go to private school? Yeah.
So
Really?
done.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, facts.
Interesting.
Like, and the reason for me, it's no longer that because think about it. A lot of the politicians know themselves because they all went to school together.
Yeah, but is that the only reason?
Yeah,
when
No,
it
no,
comes
no,
to
it's
private?
not. It's not. But think about what. So, if I want my kids to go to private school, it's
Yeah.
because they're networking with people that potentially will be giants of industry, which they themselves will be. Makes it easier for them to be able to do things. Right? The parents of the children that are when they come out of uni are already probably in these places, right?
they're already
So what they
established.
can do is get leg in because of that.
Yeah,
And the moment you do that, you literally set them up because it opens them to another way of thinking. Another like the reason why a lot of black people are in a way, it's because they have just. I can't
lie.
no.
Watch your words, man.
I have to be careful. I have to be careful. I'm not saying anything. But the reason is because they're always thinking within this bubble.
Yeah. Okay. I can understand what you're saying.
They're always thinking within this bubble. But the moment you break out from that bubble and you begin to see other things, like the mindset is just different.
But my thing is like, and this is not me challenging you, this is also me thinking, because I think we've had I don't know if you've had it on the pod.
Yeah, I remember we had it in the,
we
yard.
had it in the yard.
Yeah.
We sat down for time. Like,
Hours.
literally just thinking that pros and cons. Because that point was brought up, that connections wise, like the network that they can grow from a young age. So let's just say we're talking private school, secondary school, right? It's exponential, of course. But at the same time, like there's also dangers that can also bring, for example, because you now have a group of kids who are kids and have the same unlimited access that they will have later on. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Whether that's financially, network wise. And so, you know, what kind of things could they be getting up to in the same way that you might disregard public school kids for getting up to? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Okay, with most things, there's always like the good and bad.
Yeah.
But generally, if you're placed in a situation, how do you think you would react? So if right now he just place you and then they just put you in between, I don't know, kids that went to Eton, for example.
Yeah.
How do you think you would react? Or if you went to Eton right now, how do you think? Oh, actually, scrap Eton as like you went to Oxford or Cambridge or Harvard for masters.
Yeah.
How do you think you would be? Do you think it would change you?
Yeah, it'd have to.
Right? How would it change you though?
That's what I'm saying. You could.
No, I'm talking about you.
Me personally.
You, yeah.
Oh.
How do you think it will change you?
I don't know. I thrive anywhere, innit?
No, 100%. But the reason,
I played.
You know what it is? You gotta believe in yourself, man.
you gotta believe in
It's
yourself.
true.
Do you know
Inside
why?
joke.
Do you know why you know that? It's because one, you as a person, you are set the way you are.
Yeah.
Right. Some people are easily influenced, and one of the things about that is the best way to set up most things is when kids are kids, how you influence them, like their persona, how they think about themselves, what they think, whatever, all these things. Now, it's not to say that I have all the answers to this, but it's some of the conversations that I've had.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, from a very, very young age, like you have to build up that sense of awareness in them, because the only person that you can the people's head you can turn are the people that don't have it or haven't seen it before. So think, for example, like imagine as a person you're fine, you have your money, like you understand what contentment is,
Yeah.
and then someone comes at you and then saying, "Oh man, I just got a Rolex." Da, 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 da. When you look at them, like, okay, that's cool, that's nice, but or you seen like your parents, like they got Rolexes, and it was like, oh, they're driving that really nice car, and someone tries to.
Okay, yeah, I get what you mean.
don't like
now.
it. Doesn't that those things don't necessarily
They don't phase you.
They don't, because it's like, okay, it's sweet,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah,
not
yeah,
my.
that's normal.
And the same thing applies with. It doesn't mean that obviously, that's the case, because until they're actually in there. But the best thing that you can do is train and support and do the best that you possibly can, right? Plus God,
Yeah.
and then let kids be kids. Because at the end of the day, people as guys will we gotta make mistakes. Like the problem that people try and do is they try and make everything so perfect. It's like, oh, you did it. Fine, let them make the mistakes. They will learn from it. But it's like you have to first be that character that where their focus is now. Oh, I made a mistake and I need to learn from this.
Yeah.
And also, truth be told, it could go wrong. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong, and that's it.
Nah.
Can't go. No, my childhood.
No, God forbid.
Nah,
but it's
God
like,
forbid,
did
in
you
fact.
get it? So it's
Yeah,
like, because there's so many people that have gone like
Yeah.
exact same thing.
Both went wrong or what?
No, nothing wrong with them. But they went to but they went to private school.
Oh, yeah.
Private school. Like,
Yeah.
they turn out, and it's just one of those things where you have to just find that balance of being present, like teaching, having that right foundation.
Yeah.
I'm on serious prayer.
But do you think that like they can still be?
I know exactly what you want to say. Just say it,
They
bro.
can still be
You know what I'm saying? Just still be, just not gang, but you know what I'm saying? Just
Guess
still
what?
be like, you know what I'm
They
saying?
But they are.
I don't know, you know.
That's because we don't see it.
No, I'm not talking about
Right?
them swiftly. I don't.
No,
really
but
know
that's
them,
because we
innit? But
don't
I'm
see
just saying
it.
on
But
the
this is the
general
thing,
note.
like, even as knows that these kids will have to be kids. So, but then it's this case of I've raised them to a particular thing, and I have to keep reminding them that guys,
Yeah.
you were not privy to the inside happenings in different families.
Yeah.
So, of course, there's some things that we know, some things we don't know. But to them, the fact they won't know, at least there's a certain level of expectation.
Yeah.
But going forward, they'll still be because they have to come to the understanding on their own.
No, but I'm saying like, so for example now, yeah,